We're here at the INTO Congress 2015, where a number of key issues for teachers all over Ireland have been highlighted over the past 3 days. Here are some of the main talking points.
There are a number of challenges faced in education and teaching in general at the moment. The chief amongst those is trying to get good pay and conditions for our teachers. We need to reduce class sizes to manageable amounts and to the OECD average, and we also need to look at school leadership very seriously and see how we can support school leaders doing very tough work in our schools. They have a huge amount of paperwork and administration to do with supports diminishing in the schools. So we need to look at that seriously. And I think particularly I'm looking for the Department of Education to alleviate the moratorium on the posts of middle management in our schools. That would certainly help considerably. And I think it's time that we realised how our principals are functioning. They are doing an awful lot of this work on their own, so they need support, and that support needs to come from the Department of Education in the form of middle management structure.
And speaking about the department, Jan O'Sullivan was of course speaking yesterday. How do you feel about some of the topics she raised, such as pay restoration?
Well, and as I said, that's our priority. We are, after all, a trade union. Conditions of service for our members is the most vital element of our trade union. And yes, I am delighted to hear that she is going to be amenable towards that. We're facing elections, so we'll see how we get on when we get into negotiations with the government. But we certainly need to see, after 8 years of austerity, we need to see an improvement. Public servants have taken the load in the last number of years, and now it's time they got some alleviation and saw some recompense for that.
When teachers come out of St Patrick's College, they have to do a year's probation to get their full recognition. If you teach in special educational schools, you get a restricted recognition. And I was speaking today on sort of how unfair that and how discriminatory it is that since 2012 teachers don't get the full recognition in special educational settings. I teach in a 20-teacher school, and I am the newest entrant into the school. And because of that, I am the only teacher in the school that has restricted recognition, and I feel this to be highly unfair and discriminatory. I think the attitude towards special educational needs is deplorable at the moment, that teachers that are fully qualified do not get the recognition they deserve. They work tirelessly in trying to improve the lives and education of their pupils, and they don't get the same recognition as their mainstream counterparts.
Dion, what are your thoughts on Section 37.1?
Well, I think Section 37.1 has a chilling effect on the lives of LGBT teachers and our allies in the workplace. Given that over 90% of Irish primary schools have a Catholic ethos or a religious ethos, a high number of teachers feel uncomfortable about being open about themselves in the workplace. It is, in effect, a don't ask, don't tell policy. Teachers should feel equal in their workplace, and they should feel comfortable about being open about themselves. In terms of the proposed amendment being brought forward by the government in the coming months, we in the INTO LGBT group and our other colleagues in the INTO are against this amendment. We feel that deletion of Section 37 is the only valid option. The proposed amendment will only add a line into the legislation which will say that schools cannot discriminate against LGBT teachers. However, the language remains of undermining the ethos of a school. This is ambiguous language, is unclear, and teachers will still feel that they cannot be open in terms of addressing issues like homophobic bullying, in terms of addressing different family types, and as a result I think that LGBT teachers and children of LGBT families will not feel 100% valued.
The main point that I was talking about was that newly qualified teachers would be probated during college. At the moment we have a kind of a two-tier system where secondary school teachers have just, when they finish their diplomas, they're in college, they just have to complete a number of hours. And once they have that requisite number of hours, then they're fully probated, they're a fully state qualified teacher. While primary school teachers need at least 50 days to do one half of the diploma or 100 days of continuous work which in this economic climate isn't very easy for a lot of people. And a lot of people I've been talking to, substitute teachers like myself, find it quite difficult. I'm lucky enough to have it completed, but it's something that can be. We have a 4-year BA now. There's no reason why it can't be. Teachers can't be probated. We can introduce a similar system like secondary school teachers. I think it's very important that younger teachers are listened to and respected and minded by the INTO, and that's what we hope to achieve.
In my classroom actually this year there have been 60 serious assaults against the staff in my classroom, 20 of which I've personally experienced. I've had kicks to the head, I've had punches, I've had kicks, I've had my wrist bent back so I wasn't able to write. I've been spat at in the face, I've had punched in the stomach, punched in the rib cage, punched in the chest, and other serious assaults. We do expect it, but we should not accept it. But it is accepted. I've been in other schools. This is not my first year teaching. It's my 4th year teaching in a special school. I was in mainstream before that. And it is expected in a special school. You do know going in that you're expecting to be assaulted. But at the moment, it's just accepted that you'll be assaulted and that you come back the next day and everything's fine. Assault is put as sick leave. Assault is not sick leave. I was not sick, I was assaulted. It's not the same thing. I am reluctant to take days of out of my sick leave because I don't know what will come in the future, that I might be sick and need them. And they are looking for guidelines from the Department of Education, from the CEC, from the INTO on assaults, on what should be done. And we really need assault leave to be assault leave and sick leave to be sick leave.